Hi reception, hope you're having a lovely day today. So what we're going to do today is we're going to have a go at doing some artwork linked to our nursery rhyme, Hey Diddle Diddle. And I'm going to show you what we're going to create today, and then we're going to have a go at doing it together. So here we've got our cow jumping over the moon with some twinkly stars in the background. Now, can you see what I've used to make my cow? That's right, I used my handprint. Now you can either print if you've got some white paint, or you can draw around your hand onto a piece of white paper. So you can see here that my thumb has actually become the face of the cow. Can you see his ears and his eyes and his mouth and his nose? So we're going to have to go creating that, and then I've drawn the tail on the back here and the black prints on his body. Can you see what I used to make those? That's right, I used my fingerprints. Okay, so you can have a go at doing that. Now, you don't have to use your handprint or your fingerprint. You can draw and colour black spots as well. Now, if you haven't got any white or black paint at home, that doesn't matter either, because you can create a magical cow, and that magical cow can be any colour you want it to be. So it doesn't matter, whatever you've got at home, create the most imaginative, colourfulest cow you can think of. So any colour is absolutely great. Now, have a look. I'm going to show you what I did to create this. So I'm going to tilt the screen down so you can see what I'm doing. So you can see I've got my black piece of, I didn't actually have any black paper at home, and I didn't have any black cards, but I did have an old book that had pieces of white paper in. But I'd actually used all the pieces of white paper for drawing on. So I just had the cover of the book. So I've used the back cover of the book because I don't need the book anymore. So that's what I used. But again, yours can be on any coloured paper. The sky in our picture is black, but it doesn't have to be. Your art could be created in a magical land where the background could be a different colour. Okay, so I'm going to roll up my sleeves, because I'm going to do the one where I print in the white paper. So I've got my white paint, okay, and I am going to think about where on the page I want to put my handprint. Now, before I do that, actually, I think I might put the moon on. So on my piece of paper, I'm going to draw a crescent moon, okay. Now, a crescent moon, here's my cow picture from yesterday that my niece Daisy drew, and she also drew me, this is the one I used from the catapult, if you saw that video, and she also drew me a crescent moon and some stars. Okay, so that's going to help me to draw my bigger crescent moon. You can have to think about a crescent moon and what a crescent moon looks like. Do you remember what a crescent moon is? Can you have a think from what I've shown you in the picture? That's it. So we've got part of the moon. It's not a full moon. So we've got part of the moon. So I'm going to draw my moon to fill my page, and then I'm going to colour it in. Now, my yellow felt tip pen's running out quite a lot, and I haven't got another one. So I'm just going to use a bit of yellow coloured crayon, and I'm going to colour my moon in all the way around. A nice big moon, nice big half moon. I wonder if you've seen a half moon in the sky. I wonder when you last saw the moon. When you last saw the moon in the sky, was it a full moon? Was it a half moon? Because there's all different phases of the moon. So you can have a look at the moon next time you see it in the sky and have a think about what shape the moon is and when the moon is at its brightest. I wonder what the moon shape has to be for the moon to be its brightest in the sky. So maybe if you're lucky enough to see the moon over the next few nights, you can have a look at it and have a think about it. Okay, so I've coloured that in quite quickly so that I can show you. And then I'm going to cut my moon out. Now again, depending on what you've got at home, it doesn't really matter what colour your moon is. You can make your moon a magical moon, and it can be any colour that you want it to be. So carefully cut your moon out. And then I'm going to stick it onto my piece of paper. Oh, look, it's filled up quite a lot of my piece of paper. I've drawn quite a big moon. So I'm going to glue that moon down onto my piece of paper. There we go. Hopefully, there we go. You can see that's why I've glued that down. Make sure I wind the lid down, wind the glue down in the tube, and put the lid back on. Okay, now I'm going to think about which way round I want my cow to be. So I want his head to be facing the moon. So I'm going to put my hand on here. Now, remember, when we've done this at school, when we push down into the paint, we have to push our whole hand into the paint. Push your fingers down into the paint. That's it. Push all that down into the paint. Try and keep your hand nice and steady. Lift it off. And then I'm going to put my thumb out because this is the cow's neck and head, and these are the cow's legs. So then I'm going to put my hand down onto my piece of black paper, but I'm going to keep it really still, but I'm just going to push down with my other hand. Okay. Now I'm going to lift my hand off. Now, if you haven't completely filled, look, you can see there's a big gap there, but you know what? That doesn't matter, because actually cows have bits of black on them as well, don't they? Or bits of another colour. So I'm going to keep that bit as my black bit of the cow. Now, what I'm going to do with my paintbrush is the bits that I want to keep white, I'm just going to dab over with my paintbrush just to join the legs up. But I'm not going to fill in all the bits because I want to keep some black bits on my cow anyway. So that's worked quite well. Join that bit up so we can see its body. So I'm not going to do any more. I'm going to leave that like that now. Okay. And then with my black, so I've got a little bit of black here, with the black now, probably best actually to do your stars and then come back and do the black and the face when it's dried a bit. So I'm going to leave that like that for now. And I'm going to come back and I'm going to put the black bits and the face on in a minute. I'm just going to give my hand a little wipe so I can show you the next bit that we're going to do. Now, if you aren't printing your hand, then what you can do on your piece of paper is you can draw around your hand instead. Okay, so instead of using paint, you can draw around your hand. Get myself a pencil. Here we go. So instead of printing into the white paint, you can draw around your hand like this. Keep your hand nice and steady, nice and flat, and have a go at drawing around your hand. Somebody could help you do this. So if you draw around your hand like that, then get your scissors and cut your hand out really carefully. And then just like I did on the paper with the printing, you're going to have exactly the same thing. But instead of using white paint, you draw around your hand on white paper. And that will give you the exact same thing as I've got with the paint. Okay, so cut really carefully around your hand. So there is the other hand, okay? So if I was putting that onto my black piece of paper, I'll leave it just there, but that's my hand that I would use that would go on there instead of the paint, okay? So now I'm going to draw some stars. So on my piece of paper that I've been using, I'm going to use the piece that I cut my hand out of. And I'm going to draw myself a star. Now, I find the easiest way to draw stars, can see on here is that I find I draw a triangle. Draw a triangle that way. Let me go over that in black pen so you can see better. So if you draw a triangle that way around, you can see that a bit better now. You turn it round the other way and then draw another triangle that way round. Okay, now if you do that with pencil, I've done it with pen, and I hope that you can see it better on the screen. If you do that in pencil, 2 triangles, and then colour them in, and that will give you your twinkly star. Okay, and then you can cut out your star, and then you can glue your twinkly stars onto around the moon to make your twinkly stars and make your beautiful night sky. Now remember, we did say that if you don't have black, it doesn't matter. You can just have a go and use a different colour, and we'll see some really interesting, exciting, imaginative colours being used. So I'm just going to pop that star on. Now I've got some stars over here that I'm going to use. Okay, so I'll cut them out from my picture. So I'm going to cut around those really carefully and glue those on as well. So you can do as many stars as you like. And glue them all around your picture. Now let's have a look at the one I did before so you can see. Can you see how many stars I did on that one? Should we count them? Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I did 8 twinkly stars. So it's up to you how many stars you want to put on, and you can just glue them all around on your picture. Okay. Now it's dried a little bit, but you might want to leave it a little bit longer till it's completely dry. I'm just going to show you. So with my black paint, now again, you don't have to use paint for this, and you don't have to use your fingerprint if you don't want to. You can just use a black pen to draw these on, okay? Now remember, I'm keeping that bit as part of the cow's black markings, but now I'm just going to print on a few more black markings all over the cow. Now make sure that you spread those out all around the cow. There we go, and down there too. Okay, now you can draw those on. You can use your white hand here, and you can put them on with pen if you want to. Now, with my brush, I'm going to do the ears now. The ears are going to be up here on the cow's head. So I'm going to draw pointy ears on. So there's the ears, there's one ear. There's the other ear on the cow. Now, probably won't show up very well on this one because it's not quite dry, but once you've put the ears on up there, the last thing to then add, you can see on this one, is to add the mouth, the nose and the eyes, okay? But you'll need to wait until your paint is a bit drier, okay? So I'm going to let mine dry for a little bit, and then I'm going to add on my mouth and my eyes and my nose, okay? And hopefully you'll create a wonderful cow jumping over the moon when you have a go as well. So I'm just going to tilt this back now. Okay, so I hope you have lots of fun creating this. I had lots of fun making them. And remember, if you don't want to use paint, then you can just draw around your hand on a piece of paper. I look forward to seeing your designs, and I hope you have fun and enjoy the rest of your day. See you all soon. Bye.